I know you've heard this thing like a couple million times on YouTube already, but before we start the video, I'd just like to say only 33% of you that are watching these videos are actually subscribed. So if you like what you're seeing and you want to support the channel, consider liking and subscribing. It really helps me out a ton and it motivates me to make more content. That's about it. Enjoy the video. Welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be a bit different from my usual videos where I just sort of boot up the game and start playing. I'm going to be talking about the general state of Rainbow Six Mobile and how Ubisoft can improve on this and make sure the game thrives just before global launch. I want the best for this game, which is why I'm making this video. And before I proceed with all the points that I'm going to state in this video, these are all based on my opinions and they're obviously going to be different from yours. So feel free to comment down your opinions. I would love for this video and countless other videos just like these to reach Ubisoft. That way they can sort of understand what we're thinking about the game right now and hopefully take notes. And this is all of this is just thought out for it with the best intentions for the game. I just want this game to thrive. I've been absolutely loving this game and I want to see this game reach the same level of popularity that PC Siege has reached over the past few years. So the first thing that I want to talk about is communication. Ever since I've started playing Rainbow Six Mobile, I have noticed that Ubisoft has been somewhat radio silent in terms of just general content coming into the game, and by that I mean like they're barely teasing any new content like new operators, new maps, new events, new game modes, etc. And while I do admit my brain has sort of been fried by the Call of Duty mobile cycle of just constantly feeding content every 2 weeks, it still feels kinda dry when you consider the fact that Siege Mobile has an insane backlog of operators when you compare to R6 PC, and they've also just in general been really quiet about the overall development cycle of the game. Like it sort of feels like they're not even listening to our feedback, but they most definitely are, because I've noticed that the game's just been going up and up in terms of quality and they've been listening to our feedback, but it really doesn't feel like it considering how slow they are in just general communication. Like they released a new operator, but instead of coming up with teasers before the release, they straight up just had one trailer after. Like that doesn't feel like good communication to me. Simple solution in this case would just be being a little bit more open in terms of communication. So by that I mean maybe posting a bit more developer update videos, being a little bit more open about their current stance on do they feel confident enough in releasing the game globally, do they not feel confident, like what the actual deal is. I know for a fact they're really confident in this game. Even I really do feel that this game has potential to just sort of explode. Like it is pretty polished, it is up there, it is ready. All they need to do is just release the game. But replying to a few YouTube comments and a few tweets with some ominous replies is not it. They're not gonna be generating enough buzz with just this alone. Like yes, this is going to generate some amount of buzz for the people, but at the same time we've been so deprived of news that at this point even something as little as a YouTube reply sort of just sparks us. We're all so hungry for a response from Siege. So I feel like they've been edging us a little too much. So maybe stop the edging in terms of communication and be more open. Also had probably the most perfect time ever to release some more info, which was the Siege X reveal. Now I get it, they didn't want to take away the spotlight from Siege X. I totally get it, but at the same time, for the reveal of Siege X, there were tons of people from all over the world tuned in. So that was like great publishing. Like that was great marketing for them. They could have just like mentioned something during the Siege X reveal, like maybe a little bit after the Siege X reveal, just to sort of say, oh, here's a little something extra. and then just talk a bit about Rainbow Six Mobile. But no, instead they didn't really release anything new. Like they like I have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. They just seem so quiet and so like mysterious that I have no idea what they're trying to do at this point. So the next point that I want to talk about is lack of clarity. So as you all know, the release window for Rainbow Six Mobile has been just all over the place. I mean, I've been hearing about this game since 2023, and now at this point it's been 2025, and like not even like the beginning, we are already 3 months into 2025 and there's still no proper release date on it. So like what exactly is going on? Like I do understand that they want to release like the best possible version of this game, so that they don't end up pulling a Warzone mobile and just end up getting a ton of hate on day one for releasing an unfinished product. But if you play this game for more than 10 minutes, you'll realize that this game is more than ready to be released. I mean, there are only few issues in the game, and really realistically only one issue in the game, which is high latency. And the only reason we're facing this high latency issue is because the game's not out yet globally. Everyone's on VPNs, everyone is sort of playing on high ping, and they can get rid of this high latency issue by just releasing the game. I mean, I get it, Delta Force Mobile is around the corner, so they're probably playing it safe, since Delta Force Mobile really is posing a threat to their release cycle. But at the same time, I think that the game is in in concept strong enough to just deal with Delta Force Mobile and capture a market with the right marketing and with the right clarity in development and stuff. I think that Ubisoft has a chance of going up against Delta Force Mobile. Only like one possible like solution to this, which is to just give us a concrete release date for the game. That way we could possibly generate more hype. There could be more buzz around the game. More people would be interested and possibly even start checking out some more content related to the game, start pre-registering more, and just in general there will be more buzz towards the game. So the last point that I want to talk about for this video is marketing. So again, most of you know this, but you need to actually market your product for it to do well, and Rainbow Six Mobile is no exception. And the way Ubisoft decides to market this game is heavily going to impact how the public perceives the game, and how much exposure this game is going to get in the long run. And based on previous beta tests, we already know that this game has generalized servers, localized servers, unlike some other games, Warzone Mobile. And I'm gonna be comparing this to Warzone Mobile a lot, but that's because Activision basically set the blueprint for how not to release a mobile game, and all Ubisoft has to do is just follow this blueprint so that they don't end up releasing another trash game like Warzone. In my opinion, Warzone Mobile probably did marketing in the worst way possible, because while they did put out like a bunch of ads for this game, like I remember specifically seeing like proper billboards for this game in, I think, Times Square was it, but they still didn't put out these ads in actual regions that are big mobile markets like India and Southeast Asia, stuff like that. Like if you're going to ignore the most biggest mobile gaming markets and then put out ads for a mobile game, then you're just basically asking for your game to fail. In this case, I'd also like to mention that while they did sponsor a few YouTubers to promote the game, they didn't sponsor a lot of YouTubers from the same regions that I mentioned before, and this I believe really impacted the way Warzone Mobile was exposed to some of the others. And I mean, yeah, Warzone Mobile did run like shit, which was also another factor that sort of went against the marketing. But it still did not, that still doesn't take away from the fact that Activision really neglected a bunch of regions, and Ubisoft is definitely not doing that. I've seen that the way they interact with YouTubers from almost every region, including a bunch of YouTubers from the Southeast Asia region. So I definitely do feel like Ubisoft is taking a step in the right direction. They're definitely looking at the failure of Warzone Mobile as like a learning experience, and they're definitely learning from it and improving on the general marketing of the game.